Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm continuing my Northern Lights experience. So it's a series of creations that have been inspired by the Northern Lights. As you know, I was really lucky to witness them in person. So that's kind of sparked a creative energy in me to produce some creations using various techniques and a colour palette to match the Northern Lights that I saw. Today, these are back. The embroidery hoops. So I think I'm going to use 3 rather than 4. I'm doing a large canvas. It's a 40" by 20". I'll take you down so you can see the colour palette. I'll explain more about my technique. But with these in hand, you know that I'm going to be doing some swiping. But I really want to leave a large amount of negative space because the part that I swipe with toilet paper or tissue paper is going to be the part that really pops. So I'm going to use about 6 colours. I will show you those colours and I can't wait to get started. So as always, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see what we can create. So these are the colours that I'm using. As you can see, they're quite thick in terms of consistency, but they run off of the spatula into the pot of paint, leave a slight trace and then disappear. All my consistencies and ratios are listed in the description box, so just expand that for some more information. So I've placed some black paint on my canvas and I'm just using the palette knife to spread the paint across the full surface area to cover that canvas. And then I'm going to take 3 embroidery hoops, different sizes, and I'm going to place them on the canvas, one inside the other. You may have seen some of my embroidery hoop work before, but if not, check out some of those. I love doing swipes and I love using the embroidery hoop to help me guide the paint. So the first idea is to fill these hoops with colour from the Northern Lights. So I'm just placing some paint and I'll place paint in each area, a different colour, and then I'm just going to swipe through. I'm not intending this to be really neat, to really cover up that area. I don't want it to be a solid colour, but I just want there to be some movement within those hoops initially. So I use a toilet or a tissue paper. It's a thin paper that absorbs the paint, but also helps drag that paint across the surface area that you're using. When you dip your paper into the paint, let it absorb slightly and then drag the paper where you want the paint to go. I'm removing the 2 embroidery hoops within that large embroidery hoop. I've finished with those, but I'm going to leave the outer one just to help me guide the paint. So I'm now going to take the colours and layer the paint on the outer edge of this large embroidery hoop. But I really only want to cover half this canvas because I want the other half to be negative space. Dark area, just like the space the sky was that evening. So I've now got my colours down. That's enough paint on the canvas. The black paint on the surface area of the canvas will help with the flow when I swipe, and just use whatever you're comfortable with. But I'm using a toilet paper, a tissue paper, And you'll see that I'm just dipping the paper into the paint and slowly dragging the paint across the canvas. I dispose of the paper each time I use it, but I'm just slowly going through the process and swiping from that hoop to the outer edge of the canvas, allowing that paper to absorb some of that paint and then dragging that paper across that surface area. And I'm going to repeat this process many times because this half of the canvas, I really want to fill it with lines. But I'm happy to also reduce the width of the paper as I go. I don't want all my lines to be the same width, so you'll see me shortly reduce the width by folding the paper in half again to create a thinner line as I swipe. Once I've done these main swipes, I then go over the swipes again, just with a smaller piece of paper, dragging the paint to the middle part of the canvas, creating different length lines, and that's what really creates that depth. So I'm now going to remove the larger hoop, and you'll see here that I've got those beams of green light with hints of purple and pink. Those colours within those hoops aren't solid. We can still see some of the black area behind it. And I just love this effect. It's one of my favourite things to do when I'm swiping. But I've already decided I don't want that black area on the left to be solid. I am going to use a spray paint just to break up some of that area. So I'm just taking a couple of colours, some copper and also some turquoise, also some black, and I'm just gently spraying those areas. It's going to help break up that solid block of colour, but also create that illusion of space and night sky. Let me take you in now for a close-up. You can see here how that spray paint works really well against that black backdrop. It really shimmers and also creates that illusion of space. Then we've got those stronger tones of those greens beaming through, shining and dancing just like those northern lights. I'm really loving this. I'm going to hang this piece on the wall just so I can show you how it looks as one piece. And then I will take you in for a close-up. This is the dry version, and I'll show you some of those details. And remember, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the creation itself in the comments below. By commenting and liking really helps me reach new people across YouTube who may be interested in the artwork that I produce and who might also be interested in learning the techniques that I teach. So a big thank you for doing that. I really hope you've had fun. Let me know if you try this too. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to know what you think about this Northern Lights series. Have a great week ahead. I'll leave you with more of these details, but a big thank you to each and every one of you for all of your support. I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.